The Philadelphia 76ers edged out the Boston Celtics 102-100 thanks to Justin Edwards delivering 22 points off the bench along with 5 threes. Tyrese Maxey added 21 points of his own, but it was Kelly Oubre Jr. who came out the hero, hitting a clutch go-ahead putback layup with 8.7 seconds left to win the game. Boston's Jaylen Brown led all scorers with 24 points, but the Celtics just couldn't hold on to their 8-point lead down the stretch. And in the nightcap, Nikola Jokic continued his MVP caliber performance, 35 points with 15 rebounds and 7 assists, only missed 3 shots as the Nuggets rolled on the Kings 122-108 to win their 5th consecutive game. The Kings were led by Domantas Sabonis with 19 points and 8 rebounds, and Drew Eubanks had 19 points with 7 boards off the bench, with Sacramento now dropping 3 straight games. So with all this conversation about Wemby and Giannis and Luka, are we not talking enough about how dominant Nikola Jokic has been to start the season? Back to you guys.
Titus, thanks for the information from late last night. Caroline Fenton, it's a fair question. You see it from Jokic. Are we not giving him enough love?
I don't think we are. Like, I think that he's absolutely 100% onto something. And it's because of exactly what Titus just said. We are so obsessed with Victor Wembanyama. Obviously, we should be obsessed with Victor Wembanyama. We are so obsessed with Luka Doncic and what he's done so far this season and what he adds to this Lakers team. And the fact that the Lakers early on, I know it's November 12th, but they look like legitimate championship contenders. Like, we've become so obsessed with those things that I think it's so easy to overlook what Jokic is doing. But the fact that he is averaging a triple-double, the fact that 4 out of his last 5 games, he's dropped 32 plus, the fact that he's averaging 25, 13, and 12. Like, those are monster numbers, but I think that we've all just gotten so used to it. We've gotten so used to the greatness of Nikola Jokic that we are like have shiny ball syndrome, that our attention is dedicated elsewhere, to Wemby, to Luka, to elsewhere in the West, to OKC and this young team. The fact that the Warriors are slipping a little bit, that we're not paying attention to the greatness that we've become accustomed to, and that's not fair. We shouldn't be doing that. We should be paying more attention to this Denver team.
Yes, but look, I don't want to sound harsh here, but I'm going to sound harsh. Whenever I qualify something, it means I'm about to say something that
no offense, and then you say something offensive.
No offense. Look, Jokic at this point is the most slept-on MVP in modern basketball history, and that's not going to change. Like, everything you just said is true.
More than SGA.
Things. More than SGA, because it's been more sustained. It's happened longer for Jokic. Like, there's this moment to me where, like, if Jokic was going to get on some sort of massive hype train, that would have already happened. Like, the opportunity to become a sensation that the world pays attention to has already passed. And I can't tell you why. Like, I can only tell you, as I've always been brutally honest, even when I was at ESPN and we talked about, should we talk about the Nuggets when they were about to win their first championship? The bosses at ESPN came back and said, no, nobody cares. And they were right. Like, the numbers, the metrics, all of the things that get studied all the time. When you talk about the Nuggets, people don't resonate to it. The casual fans don't flock to it. So it's a little bit like the equivalent in TV and music and entertainment when they talk about the Q rating. A Q rating is a score through panels where they sit there and say, okay, does this person sort of resonate as an actor or as a musician or as an on-air personality? Do they resonate? The answer here is that Jokic is great, but he doesn't resonate with casuals. Like, he's not somebody that everybody's suddenly going to turn around and say, I'll pay 5 times as much to get into the arena to see him play. It doesn't mean that I think that's right. I just accept inevitabilities. The inevitability here is that if Jokic was going to be the billboard of the NBA, if he was going to be the building block that everybody paid attention to, if he was going to be one of the foundational stars for casual fans to say, oh my God, I have to watch this guy on Christmas Day. If that was going to happen, it already would have. So I'm just at the spot where, are we sleeping on Jokic? Yes, we are. And his greatness should be better appreciated. Yes, that's true. But it's also never going to change, because whatever hype opportunity could have happened should have happened through multiple MVPs. Now all we have is just another great year from Jokic. And if the greatest years from Jokic haven't resonated before, why will they now?
And I think and you're right. And I think it's a couple of things. One, it's the fact that he plays in Denver, which isn't the sexiest NBA market. I mean, like, the fact that Luka's doing what he's doing with the Lakers bears more weight because it's the LA Lakers. I think the other thing might be, like, the most recognizable thing, the the thing that I think we can all define Jokic as is the fact that he doesn't really care. And I wonder how much that kind of damages a public persona, or how much he isn't, viewed as kind of the face of the league, because he just wants to go home and race his horses. Like, the man cares about his horses. The man was in tears over his horse winning a race. And then whenever he won a championship, he was like, okay, great, that's fine. But like, I'm not going to the championship parade because like I gotta go home and tend to my horses. I love that about him. I think that kind of humanizes him. I think it's fun and it's quirky and it's different. It's so anti, everything that Michael Jordan and Kobe ever stood for. But I do wonder if that is something that, like, hey, we just can't get on board with the superstar who DGAF.
You're 1,000% right. And the opposite of that is some of the guys from the last generation that love being center of attention, not the least of which is Draymond. Now, while everybody was sleeping, the Thunder absolutely just destroyed Golden State. And then we get this quote. I think everyone was committed to winning after the Butler trade last season and doing that any way possible. Right now, it doesn't feel that way. This Caroline is rich to me. This is rich to me. You can be one of the greatest basketball players of your generation, Draymond. That's fine. Maybe you are. You can be that in every possible way. But for you to call out a commitment to winning when it feels like the most important thing in your life are your podcasts and your quotes, when you're out here being talked about on every major news network because of the things you said about Dak, not even your sport, Dak, in the middle of your season, and then you say that the team doesn't feel like they're committed to winning. My God, the hypocrisy of this. Like, at some point, if you're not performing to the level that you think your team should be performing, and you want to sell everybody on the one thing we're going to be committed to is winning, then shouldn't it be universally the only thing you're living, eating, breathing? I'm not somebody that says athletes can't have a life out of sports. I think they should. I think it's healthy to have balance. I love athlete podcasts because they have the opportunity to tell all of us things that we would never know otherwise. That's fine. But you can't sit here and tell me that you're doing an NFL podcast and your own NBA podcast and you're doing every media appearance you possibly can, and you're out here making noise, creating noise, being part of the noise, and then tell me that your team doesn't feel like they're committed to winning without at least looking in the mirror. My God, like, at some point, Draymond, I guess I just ask you, are you setting the example of prioritizing only one thing in the world, and that's winning basketball games? Because from the outside looking in, it feels like Draymond today, not through the duration of his career, but today, Draymond's a better talking piece than he is an NBA player. So if he's going to question everybody else's commitment, I guess my question is he looking in the mirror?
The call is coming from inside the house, Draymond. I'm so sick of Draymond Green always pointing the finger at somebody else. It's never him. He's averaging a triple single. Last night, he was to talk about commitment to winning against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Well, he had 3 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists. What are you doing to help this team? And overall, it feels like the window is slamming shut pretty quickly on this Warriors team. I mean, when the youngest player in your starting 5 is 32, and that's Buddy Hield, Jimmy Butler's 36, Steph Curry's 37, Draymond Green is 35. This is an old team that, had the best of its basketball is probably behind it. But Draymond Green, what is your commitment to winning? I'm so sick and tired of Draymond Green talking. He does more at the microphone than he does on the court.